Hey, this is MJ, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make our rustic farmhouse acorns. The yarn that I'll be working with for this pattern is Wool of the Andes bulky weight yarn, and I'll be showing you how to make an acorn in the brass heather color in this tutorial. The pattern includes two sizes with the bulky weight yarn, these sizes that you see here, so a small and a medium size. And if you want to make your acorn even a little bit bulkier, getting these two sizes here, so you'll follow the same pattern but you'll get some bigger acorns, you can take the Wool of the Andes worsted weight and you can triple it, and I'm going to show you a little trick on how you can do that. So your bigger acorn would use 1 ball and the bit smaller acorn uses about 35 grams of the ball. You could also take the worsted weight yarn and just double it. If you don't have any bulky or don't want to order bulky, if you even want to use some worsted weight in your stash, you can just double it up to get these sizes, or again, triple it to get the ones that are a little bit bigger. If you wanted smaller acorns, just use 1 strand and you'll get even tinier acorns than the ones that I show here. If you are working with the bulky weight yarn, you will need to get it into a cake before working with it, and I will link the tutorial for that. For the bulky weight yarn, or if you're doubling up the yarn, you're going to be using a 5mm crochet hook, and this is going to give you a nice tight stitch. If you're wanting to work with the chunkier acorn, then I suggest working with a 6.5mm hook, because we are going to get 3 strands on there. You can always alter your hook sizes. You just want to make sure that it does have a nice tight stitch so your stuffing stays in. I'm using this jute cord for wrapping the tops of the acorns. Now you'll need a glue gun with some glue, and then we're just going to glue this around. Going with a nice thick rope-like jute cord is going to cover it nicely and also bulk it out a little bit. So this is a 4-ply and it is a 1-pound skein, and I will have links in the description box for some places that you can purchase this. So you'll also need some cinnamon sticks. I've been breaking them just to make them a little bit smaller for my stem. And you'll need a yarn needle for bulky weight yarn and just some polyester fiber fill to stuff your acorns. And one last thing, you'll need a removable stitch marker so that you can mark your rounds, because we're going to work in a continuous round for this pattern. So if you want to use 1 strand of worsted and turn it into super bulky, start out with 1 strand going across. You're basically going to make a large S, just like this, so that you have 3 strands together. Okay, so this will be your tail end, and if you pull it this way, you're going to see this loop here. All you're going to do to continue making your bulky, super bulky yarn, you're just going to pull it through as you work and just continue with that. So once you have your 3 pieces together, you can make a magic ring as normal for the pattern. Make sure to be using the larger hook. Chain 1 to get it secure and start working your starting round. Okay, and as you work, all you do is just keep pulling that yarn through the loop. And it's so easy, a quick, easy way to work from 1 ball of yarn so that you're not working from several balls. It's getting a little snag there, but you get the idea. You're just going to keep pulling like this and work away, getting your 3 strands of yarn held together, working from 1 ball. If I want to do the 2 strands, I just simply pull the strand from the inside and I take the outside piece of yarn as well to just double it up and keep working that way with the ball. So to begin, let's make a magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your index finger 3 times. Take your hook, sliding it through all 3 loops. Always help it along. Take the yarn, pull it through, and chain 1. I'm now going to work 10 single crochet in the ring. Now I'm going to take my tail. You can always pull your work out of the way, and I'm going to pull it. It's going to pull in only 1 loop. I'm going to take the loop that began to pull. I'm going to give it a tug. It's going to close the circle. Then I'm just going to take my tail, pull. Now here is the very first stitch. Sometimes it can get a little tight. Just going to pull it up a little bit. I'm going to start by putting a single crochet into that first stitch. Now I'm going to mark that with a marker as the first stitch of my round. I'm going to work 2 single crochet in the next, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochet in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next. And we're just repeating this around. Okay, now we can remove the marker, and the next round I'm going to crochet only 1 single crochet per stitch. So there I've done 2. I'll place my marker back in that first stitch and work all the way around. Okay, so I've worked around 15 stitches. I'm going to remove my marker. I'm going to single crochet in the next 2. I'm going to put my marker back in that first stitch to keep it marked. So I've worked 2, and now I'm going to do 2 single crochet in the next. 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in the next. And I'll repeat this all the way to my marker. Now, once you've worked all the way around, the next round, we're going to just do 1 per stitch again. So place this back in that first stitch and work in every stitch around 1 single crochet per stitch. So I've worked around 20 stitches. I'm going to remove my marker, and we're going to do 1 more increase. So I'm going to single crochet in the first 3. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the first stitch, adding my marker, and then 2 in the next. So 1 single crochet in the next 3, and then 2 in the next. Okay, and repeat that all the way around. Okay, so now I've increased up to 25 stitches, and what we'll do next is work 6 rounds at the 25 stitches now, where we won't do any more increasing. So what I like to do is continue to mark the first stitch of every round. If it's easier just to count, a total of 150, you could do that. But if you think you might lose track, it's a good idea to mark each round at the 25 stitch mark, or even do, sometimes I'll count 50, then place my marker, do another 50, place the marker, do another 50. Really, whatever way you find easier. Just make sure you keep track of the rounds and do a total of 6 at 25 stitches. Okay, so I completed my 6 rounds, and now we're going to do some decreases. So to start out, I'm going to work a single crochet in the first 3. And I'll mark that first one. And now we're going to do an invisible single crochet decrease, and this just makes it really hard to tell. There won't be as much gapping. It's really easy to do. You're going to take your hook, you're going to go through the front loop of the next stitch, go through the front loop of the next stitch, you're going to yarn over, pulling through those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. So work a single crochet in the next 3, and let's go over that decrease again. So you're taking your hook and you're going through the front loop only of this stitch, the front loop only of the next stitch. So you now have these 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, pulling through those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do this all the way around. Okay, so now I've reduced back down to 20 stitches again. I'm going to do a round now, just working single crochets in every stitch around. So 20 stitches. Okay, so I've worked around. I'm going to remove my marker. I'm going to work a single crochet in the next 2. Place my marker back in that first stitch, and now I will decrease across the next 2 stitches. So go through the front loop, go through the front loop, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Single crochet in the next 2, and another decrease. And repeat that around. So at this point, it's sort of looking like an egg. I'm going to fasten off with a tail. And then you're going to want to start stuffing. Take your marker out at this point and start stuffing your acorn. And now if your stitches are too loose and the stuffing is not staying, you may want to switch out for a smaller hook. Okay, so once you're happy with your shape and your stuffing, you're going to take your yarn needle and we're going to weave through the front loops only. You can go one at a time or as many as you can fit on your yarn needle. So you're just going through the front loops. Okay, and then this will just easily pull that tight. And you'll just start weaving your tail. And this is going to help keep the hole closed, and then you can go back in the opposite direction. We will be covering this, so it doesn't matter if it's not super neat, you're not going to see it. But just make sure that your tail is secure. And trim. So next we're going to be adding the cord. Make sure you get your glue gun hot. You can decide roughly where you want to place this. I like to start about here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 rounds. So what you're going to do is just wrap the cord around the top, gluing it as you go. So as you work, just place a small amount of glue along the rope line. Okay, make sure you keep it nice and close and just continue all the way around. Okay, and finally, add your little cinnamon stick. I just broke off a piece that's nice and small. Attach your glue. And just press that into the center. Just try to pull off any little bits of glue pieces. Can sometimes be messy. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy pattern. Make sure to check the description box below the video for the links to the blog, the pattern, and the supplies. Thanks so much, guys. Have an awesome day.